Oh, it's Toby from Heavyweight MMA. Lucky again to have the pro MMA fighter, Jack Jenkins on, man. You've disappeared for a while, but you've come out ready for some action, man. Tell us what's coming.
Yeah, 100%. Fighting Justin Van Heerden on the 16th of September on Eternal, I believe, 68, is it?
70. It's yeah.
Eternal 70.
Eternal
Yeah, their
70, bro.
10-year, yeah, their 10-year anniversary. So that's pretty exciting. Yeah, so pumped, happy to get another fight going. We would have liked, obviously. I know last time we spoke, there was some talk about possibly a contender shot on Dana White's contender series and that sort of thing, but that never came to fruition. As I would have said at the time, all these things are all smoke and mirrors until you actually get a contract. And as it turned out, that's what it ended up being at this point. But yeah, so happy to just have something locked in, and I think this is a really good fight, and just another chance to solidify that I'm the guy.
Man, I think Eternal needs to get an updated pic, bro, because they're missing the tinted porno mo on the picture.
Yeah,
I'm a bit disappointed.
100%. Actually, for the last couple of fights, I've got away with it where you get the odd comment like, "Oh, that's no good, that photo," or whatever. But now everyone's saying, "Nah, that photo's got to go. You need to update your photo." And I don't know why. They've got new footage, so they've got heaps of photos from the last time we did media stuff. So I don't know why they don't use that, but oh well.
Yeah, bro. So last time we talked, you were up against. Oh, you just finished the fight with Rod Costa. A nice win over a credentialed black belt jiu-jitsu player. Before that, you fought Metropolis and Medina, who are both kind of touted as decent on the ground. And now you're coming up against another guy that's strength is obviously in the ground game in Lockjaw, Justin Van Heerden, man. It's kind of some similarities, right? In a way, fighting a lot of guys that like to be on the ground.
Yeah. Like if you're a real student of the game, you find out that on the local level, most people who get to the top are the guys with really good grappling, right? So like, you would find that there's some few very exceptional strikers who end up like at the top of the regional scene who get signed, and they're guys like Cara France, Stylebender, if I'm thinking of the last one, like a Coolabao, who's more like striking dominant. But just in like, if you look at the top 10 of each weight category, especially in Australia and New Zealand, you'll notice that the skew towards being a strong grappler is way, way higher. So it's just natural for me that being the number one guy, you're going to get grappler more frequently than I'm going to get a striker. But as time goes on, these guys are all pretty well rounded. Like you saw Rod knocks Justin out. So Rod had some striking. It just wasn't up there for compared to where mine is at. But that he didn't have his opportunities to take it to the ground either. And then Justin has his striking as well. You saw in his last fight where he I think he dropped and wobbled Alavi in the first round, and then went back to what he does well, which is the grappling. So I think that's not a surprise. But I think the good thing for me is that my last 4 camps I've prepped for the guy to take you to the fence, pressure high on his underhook side, turn you back and take you back. So I'm not really changing anything that I'm going to do defensively or anything like that. He's a bit taller than the last few opponents I've had, so that changes up the way I strike a little bit. And I've been looking at that fairly closely, just around some different things that I'm going to do to change the distance a little bit. But like you said, it's grappler for me for the last few title defenses.
That's it, man. No, it's kind of good in a way, man. They all start standing, man. You don't start on your knees, so
yeah, exactly.
They're gonna have to get through the fight to get to the ground position anyway, right?
Yeah, and I think I'm that new generation of MMA guys. I've been doing jiu-jitsu since I was 16. Like I've been kickboxing since I was 13 and jiu-jitsu since I was 16. I've been a brown belt for a couple of years. I'm probably due for a black belt pretty soon. So it's not like my grappling is a slouch. I'm not a guy who's coming in just a pure striker and all I'm trying to do is keep it on the feet. If it gets to the ground, I'm confident that I could probably sub Justin. That's just not the way I want to do it. Because again, I'm trying to solidify the notion that I'm the guy. And if the UFC comes to Australia in February, like they say they're gonna, I want him to go. That's the guy. We want him on, and I think the best way to do that is with a finish on the feet. So that's what I'm going to be looking for.
That's it, man. When you look at Van Heerden, he's obviously he focused on the grappling. He's got a few rear naked chokes, triangle, etc. recently. He also looks like quite a strong, big sort of guy for the weight class, right? And he does put a bit more
Yeah,
pressure probably than when you look at the way Costa fights and your other couple of opponents. I think he's gonna move forward a little bit more and try and be a bit more of a frantic pace, than those guys. Do you think
yeah.
that'll happen as well?
Yeah, definitely. I think what Costa does really well is he lulls you into sort of a false sense of security, gets you to overcommit, and then when he gets you in where he wants you to do, he's exceptional at that. Justin's a little different in that he will pressure, 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 try and get you back to the cage. You know, he's happy to sit and do no work against the cage or just enough work to you to go, fuck, this sucks, and turn your back. But I've been getting pushed against the cage and against the wall by guys like Jimmy Crute and Jake Matthews and Cal Potter since I was young. And then now I'm getting pushed against the cage by Khan Offley and Joey Luciano and those kind of guys. So as far as worrying about that, I've got my judo stuff and my Haragoshis and Uchimatas that should keep me active if my back does get against the fence. So I'm not well, I respect his game, and I think that he's done a really good job of implementing it, especially over his last 3 fights. I just think I have the answers for it at this point.
Yeah, man. And when I look at you guys against each other, like I said, he puts the pressure and comes forward and everything. And I think if you can keep composed and try and maintain your own rhythm would be one of the keys as well for the match, rather than just going into his rhythm and going off sort of into his game plan or his game. Yeah.
Yeah. And what you would have seen this in my last few fights, Toby, is everyone has an idea in their head of what they're going to do when I'm in front of them. And, they're going to pressure this way. They're going to not let me stand in front of them and do what I want. And then every time they get in front of me, the way I control the distance and the way I move in and out and the way I swap my stances, it freezes them all up. And it's like, is Justin going to have the answer to that? We'll find out on September the 17th, but I just don't think he is.
Is he gonna work out how to check the lead leg calf kick? That's the question.
Yeah,
I know you always said it's only a little part of your game. It's just what happens to be, happening these times. But
and I know I said it last time too. It's a small part of my game in the grand scheme of things. I don't throw it in sparring a lot. I think I would have told you that last time. Like, I just don't throw it in sparring. I don't find it necessary. But if it's there, I'm sure as shit gonna hit it.
That's
it's
it,
the
man.
quickest way to get shit done. But if I have to go back to my jab and work the jab to get inside, then I'll do that. And
Yep.
Justin, one thing that he does is when he throws his left hand, he puts his right hand in his pocket like the Cody Garbrandt. That's how Rod caught him through the
Yep.
left hook. Right hand comes down, cover and counter, and there's lots of little reads and stuff that I've got going on there that I'll be able to see on the night. I hope I'll go in there and I'll see everything and be able to find what I'm looking for.
That's it, man. No, looking forward to it, bro. Yeah. So how is all the training, everything going in the lead up, bro? It's still quite a while away. So it's on September 17th. You've still got quite a bit of time until then. How's it going at this point, bro?
Yeah, really good. So I've been back training for a while. Obviously, we were expecting the Contender Series call up. So I was kind of getting my ass into gear weeks back. Not that I wasn't training at all. I always train every day, but it's just about fighters kind of know you change, and you would know you kind of trained your intensity and the way you approach your training a little bit as you get a fight booked. But yeah, we found out the fight was going to be booked probably a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, and since then it's just been up in the intensity a little bit. And I dropped my workload outside of training back a little bit. I usually do a little bit of coaching and stuff on the side, whereas now I drop a night of that. And it's just back into full prep mode, which is good. I love living in that zone. I was up, I'm up at 6 o'clock in the mornings going for a run. I moved to be closer to the gym now just to give me more access to training. And you go through the phases of your career where when I started, I used to catch the train down here and it used to take me fucking ages. And then you got a little bit of money from fighting. So I had a car and then I caught a car. And now I'm in a position where I can live a little bit closer to the gym. And I'm just grateful for that and taking it with both hands and making sure I squeeze the most out of it rather than getting comfortable with it.
Yeah, no, it sounds good, man. Hey, is there some bad blood between you guys or it's all sweet?
We squashed that. So what happened a while ago, there was some comment there was a photo, I think it was Jesse Medina and I or something like that. And Justin made a comment, he beat both of us or something along those lines. And then we were at a fight night one night, and the blood's up at fight nights. And I said, "Fucking, you're nowhere near it, mate. Like, you're dreaming if you think you're anywhere near that level, Jesse or I, sort of thing." And then we went back and forth, and then they sort of booked this fight based on that, because I was supposed to fight Alavi, and then Alavi pulled out with a broken hand, and then they put Justin in, and then I ended up pulling out from that fight, and then Rod and Justin went together. And as soon as Justin got knocked out by Rod, as far as I was concerned, there was no more beef. He wasn't in my lane anymore. It was like, why would I continue any kind of animosity? Anyway, and then so I can't remember what happened. I think I might have even sent him a message and said, "Look, like, hey mate, shit happens. Fucking, you lost, so we're not going to fight anymore. So it is what it is." And then since then, we've spoken a couple of times. I think he sent me a message after one of my fights, and then when I was sparring Alex, and he came down and he was in the gym, and we said a couple of words. So yeah, we've got no animosity against each other outside of a very competitive animosity. There's no personal issues, but as far as a competitor, he wants what I got. From when he got slept by Rod, what do you think's been on his mind? It was, fuck, I want to get my wins. I want to get back to that title shot. And who's been there the whole time? It's been me. I haven't gone anywhere. So the idea, and this is what I think, again, people take Justin maybe a little bit lightly, but you see what he's done. Take that loss, come back. He uprooted his whole family, moved to Wollongong to train with Alex, and he's definitely improved since he did that. He's got 3 wins in a row against 3 good guys. So if you don't take him seriously, or if you think his skill set isn't up to the challenge, then you're going to have a tough night on your hands. But I'm not doing that at all. So when he comes in, I'm going to be fit. I'm going to be ready, and I'm going to put it on him, because I know he's a real test, and yeah, it's going to be a good fight. But I'm levels above, and I think the evidence of that is in my last few fights, but it's just another chance for me to show it again at the end of September.
Yeah, bro. No, it's good. It's good that there's no animosity, but of course there's always going to be that competitiveness in this sort of sport at that level, man. Everyone wants to be the number one, right? So it's kind of
expected. Well, and the thing is, like, I've got no one advocating for me, right? So you would see, like, there's guys who get in the UFC because their teammates high up in the UFC, or there's guys who get in the UFC because one of their coaches used to be in the UFC, and people have strings to pull and that sort of shit. And I don't have any of that. I got no one. There's no one pulling strings for me saying, let's get Jack a gig. There's everything I do to get in is going to be off my own back, right? And Justin does work off his back too. His record's good. He's fighting all the best guys. So if he gets his shot, he's going to have earned it. But he's got Alex in his corner who's going to help him out. So if he wins, he's probably going to get the next shot. You know what I mean? If I win, I'm just keeping my place there, and I'm making known that I'm the next guy. So this fight has huge implications down the line. But those big pressure scenarios, I've been in them 5 times in a row now. This is my 5th or 6th title fight in a row, and that's when I perform best. So, I'm stepping straight up to it, and I'm going to go through him and get my shot when the UFC comes back.
Awesome, man. Looking forward to seeing it, man. I've just got 10 quick questions for you. They don't just give me kind of shortish answers. Don't need to go into it too much. Just general questions, bro. I'm going to do a compilation later. I've started doing one for some other questions before. Now I'm doing another one, bro. So first question is a life of a prize fighter difficult?
Yes, very difficult. Do you want me to elaborate, or just?
I'll elaborate a little bit. Yeah, just like short, like you don't have to go on for ages. Yeah.
Anything you do and you apply yourself at, eventually you get rewarded for it, right? But you can apply yourself for a very long time in MMA and you never get rewarded for it. Whereas if you're going to be a lawyer or a carpenter or anything, after your 10 years in the game, you start getting paid. Whereas I'm nearly 10 years deep now and I ain't getting paid yet. So yeah, it's very hard.
Yeah, man, for sure. And the Australian scene's not so strong, as far as dollars go as well. I guess internationally it's not really until you get to the top, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Bro, what emotions do you feel on fight day?
A cold calmness. Like, I don't really, I like to have breakfast with whoever's around. Like, I have friends that come up, I'll grab breakfast with them and just chill out and switch off for a little bit. try and be as relaxed as I can before I get to the venue. And then as soon as I get to the venue, I don't talk to anyone except my coaches. I don't really do anything. Get my hands wrapped. My coach, Andy, we've been together for a long time and he always knows the right things to say to me, as does my coach, Simon. So we have such a good rhythm now. My hands get wrapped. I start hitting the pads. Then I do 2 or 3 rounds of sort of semi-live sparring and then I walk out. And I don't really feel much. It's like a cold feeling. Like I'm just ready to go.
Yeah, man, that's good. It's nothing like it, right? Getting in there, it's a hyper real feeling in there, right?
Yeah, for sure. It's you feel so free. It's like there's pure. That's what I like about it.
And what's the optimum healthy diet for you?
My diet's real simple. My girlfriend is actually in the kitchen now cooking dinner for me, but it's pretty simple. It's like porridge for breakfast, a pre-made meal for lunch, fruit and a couple of smoothies in between with some, rice cakes with peanut butter and honey for energy. And then dinner, I have chicken and rice or chicken in a wrap or a salad and steak. It's real simple. Don't have to overcomplicate it. And then after a fight, I just eat whatever I want. Lots of pasta, lots of burgers and shit. I don't get too big. I used to get pretty big, but I don't get too big anymore. I keep it in check.
You don't get Paddy the Batty big.
Nah, he gets real big.
And what's your favorite positive mantra, like a statement that you kind of repeat?
I never fold.
Cool. Advice for anyone that wants to be a prize fighter?
Just make sure it's what you want to do. Make sure it's what you want to do and understand that every other aspect of your life is going to suffer for it. If you've got a girlfriend, she's going to suffer. Your parents will suffer. Your friends will suffer because they'll see you less. You'll spend the majority of your time either isolating yourself by choice or isolating yourself by the design of what you're doing. So just make sure it's what you want to do and make sure you got people around you that are going to support you in the right way, because if you don't have that, you're going to struggle.
Cool. What's the worst injury you've received?
Worst injury, I've been pretty lucky so far. I had a torn extensor tendon 2 weeks before I fought once. I got Cal Potter and I were sparring and Cal double-legged me and I planted my hand down on the canvas and my hand just kind of jarred my elbow, and I just took anti-inflammatories for the 2 weeks leading straight up to the fight and painkillers. Had the fight, I just got through it. I ended up winning, and then somebody handed me a beer after the fight to drink, and I literally couldn't lift my hand up to my mouth because my extensor tendon was torn. So that's probably the worst one. I've had a couple of small tears here and there and some busted toes. My feet are usually pretty fucked after fights because I throw such kick heavy style. But yeah, the worst one was the extensor tendon.
Cool. What's the most wacky martial art you've ever tried?
Wacky martial art I've ever tried. Oh shit. I don't know. My coach is ex special forces, one of my coaches, and he a couple of times has got us doing like knife defense jiu-jitsu, which isn't that wacky. It just feels real strange when someone's coming at you with a knife. We're used to that hand-to-hand punch and kick style, and someone comes at you with a knife and you have to that's a bit weird.
Yeah, I did that once with they put some lipstick on the blades, and it's just like a wooden one or something, but just so you can see where you actually get cut and where you get cut. It's hectic. You just get cut up so easy. So it's
you just get lit up.
Yeah, exactly. If you were shipwrecked on an island, all your human needs were taken care of, like food and water, shelter. What 2 items would you have with you? What would you like to have with you?
A Kindle. And just load it up with all the books. Yeah, get me a
two things. So you got a Kindle. What else?
Oh, you get 2 things: a Kindle. But all my food and water is good. So Kindle, and I'm by myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm fed and I can read. Maybe like a PlayStation or something, but I'd probably need a TV and shit as well. But yeah, something simple. I'm a man of simple things.
That's it. I can't believe you don't say your missus. I was thinking for sure you're going to say,
well, I thought
because she's behind you and you're going, he's going to be pushing.
No, she's not coming. She's pain in the ass.
Yeah. All right. If if someone road rages you and then pulls you over and two guys jump out of the car, what do you do?
Depends if I'm in fight camp or not. I seem to think I always have these road rage issues where people are fuckwits, and it's always like in that last 4 weeks of camp. And a couple of times I've sent it to my mates, and my mates go, mate, I don't think they're the issue. I think you're the issue because you're just fucking hungry and grumpy and ready, and you're in that zone where you're confrontational and you want to fight. But I still stand by it. There's more just them being fuckheads. But yeah, two blokes get out of a car, I'll probably have a go. Yeah.
Last,
One time I was on my bike getting ready for a fight, and this P plater drove past me in my town, so I kind of knew the area well. I knew which area he was heading, and he swerved that like in front of me and put the brakes on, and then stuck his finger up. And I was just on the bike, and I was like, that's it. I know where this bloke's going. So I put it in the top gear and started riding after this car, and then I got probably about 1 kilometer or 2 kilometers from where I thought he was parked, and my tire just went bang, just popped. Like, it was so loud, and I couldn't get any further, and it was up this big hill. And I think that was just some divine intervention stopping me from catching up to him and doing any damage to his car. So yeah, that was lucky.
That's a good one. Last question, man. If you're in a bar fight, what 3 fighters would be your ideal backup?
I'd take Jimmy Crute. Simon Carson is one of my coaches, just because like he's just always got these stories of him like doing dumb shit. And probably like a Diaz brother, just because they'll just stay for the course. But yeah, Jimmy Crute, just like the size of his head and neck. Have you seen it? The man's just a ball. Love to have Jimmy there. I've actually been in a few situations with Jimmy standing behind me, and it's a fucking handy feeling. Yeah, Simon, my coach, just because he's always got these good stories. And yeah, probably Nick Diaz, just because he's a bit bigger.
Sounds good, bro. Man, just before we finish up, just want you to give us some final words for people that want to come and watch your fight with Justin.
Yeah, my fight is on September 17th on the Gold Coast. If you want to come down and watch, if you've been to any of my last fights, you know I always come on and I put on exciting fights. This one's going to be good. You're going to get 1 round of me feeling him out, and then you're going to see a 2nd round KO. It's going to be probably a head kick.
Sick. Cool, bro. All right, man. Thanks again for your time. Appreciate it. And good to hear you in action again. Looking forward to your fight. Wishing you all the best, bro. All the best in your training camp.
Awesome. Thanks, Toby.
Cool. Thanks, bro. See ya.
Appreciate it.